The cinema and the cafe were the two places that young people grouped together in the 50s. And race from one cafe to another is where the concept of cafe racer came.
Origin of cafe racers grew up around London and the southeast of England.
Cafe races was something that people did primarily themselves at home. They might find a few bolt-on parts, either that their friends made or that they made themselves, but there weren't real factory-produced cafe racers available.
In the early to mid-1950s, you had something called ton-up boys. Ton is 100 miles an hour.
The origins of the Royal Enfield Continental GT 250, not only was it the best handling, but it was the fastest and lightest, and I think best looking available in the UK.
I could see the potential of having a pseudo racer, if you like to call it, something that looked as though it was a quick little model. And I approached the managing director at the time, suggested that we ought to do things like putting a more racy looking petrol tank, clip-on bars, etc. And he said, right, build one up.
The Continental GT was the fastest 250 production motorcycle of its era. Nothing else could touch it. So not only was it fantastic looking, but it really went well for a 250 overhead valve pushrod single. And it was light.
I thought that we ought to do something fairly big with it, with 5 riders taking the bike from John O'Groats down to Land's End within 24 hours, and also to have a couple of racing lads to do some laps at Silverstone and at Alton Park on the way down.
Cafe racer culture in the 1960s was very much about people taking a stock bike and personalising it. With the GT, a lot of that personalisation was already done. However, that didn't stop young people buying standard Royal Enfield Crusaders, the budget go-to-work bike, and making them into their own version of the GT.